everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Dragon Pub. My name is Holly, and I'm going to be your GM tonight. Tonight, we are playing Orbital Blues and telling the story of the fabric of the universe. I'm excited to tell a fantastic story with this incredible table. Let's find out more about our storytellers. So I'm going to choose you and then horn it over to someone else. Tell us your name, who you're playing, and a tidbit about the character. I'm choosing Mary.
Hi everybody, I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm playing Lizzie, whose pronouns are also she, her. She is our doctor and the lonely heart. An interesting thing about her is the way that she sees life is also how she sees weapons. Everything has to be sneaky, can be killed very easily, and is all about pragmatic use, not for fluff. And I will popcorn it over to Bishy.
Hello, I am Bishy Bunny, who has just now realized that everybody else has their character first and then their name, and I am the person who has it flip-flopped. Oh well. Bishy Bunny, they, them. I am playing both Rose and Thorn. That would be she and them. As far as an interesting tidbit, the main tidbit I have, the thing that is on my mind right now, is Rose and Thorn are in a very precarious position. They have had a lot of knockbacks, a lot of blues, a lot of back and forths, and they're kind of on the edge, especially after finding more and more reason to hate the person who put them together. Rose does not play that, and she's getting closer to the edge of, Thorn is getting closer to the edge of violence. And I will popcorn this to Nate.
Hi everyone, my name is Nate. I will be playing Nova Valentine, our rockabilly pilot of sorts. Fun fact about them, it's not really a personality thing, it's just more of their main thing that they will always treasure is their guitar, which I based off of a guitar I hope to one day eventually have enough money to own and buy. A Gretsch 6120, which if you know your Stray Cats, that's Brian Setzer's guitar. If you also know the Reverend Horton Heat, which is one of my favorite bands, that's Jim Heath's guitar. It's pretty darn cool. And I'll pass it over to Deacon. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, I'm Jason, also known as Graphic Ronin. He, him. I am playing Deacon, also he, him. He is the, he's in the hole. Well, he's the devil's right hand. He's a gunslinger. His fun fact about him, he learned at a very young age he can only count on himself, but that doesn't mean he won't help out other people. That brings us back to Holly, yeah?
Awesome, yeah. So thank you all for joining me at the table today. Are you guys ready to play a game?
Yeah.
Let's do
Yes.
this. All right. Last episode, we found ourselves slowly but surely finding clues to what exactly is happening on Calypso. And Jason, are you intently watching the screen, or are you just kind of like piddling and listening, like messing around?
I think the cool cowboy thing to do would be to kind of just like sit back, like lean up against the counter or something, rolling a cigarette and just kind of listening to it, not really watching anything.
Okay.
Sorry if that messed up your plans.
I don't have plans. I'm the GM. I don't have plans. You guys, I kind of worked through all these videos and I don't know if you guys recall correctly or not, but there was someone in the background of several of them, and then eventually started talking to the camera themselves, making their own entries. They look an awful lot like Mackenzie at Mac, and these tapes are, I'm trying to recall exactly what I said last time. I mean, for me, they're about 50, 60 years old. Like, this is like for like very, far enough in the past that it is like you can see that the dated like clothing and styles at that time for, whatever they were, like it kind of feels like it's older. And also rarely do people unless they're on some kind of like last frontier space mission, not a ton of people make recordings of like daily life much anymore. That is definitely something of the past. But this in particular, they are kind of documenting, and what you guys had found through watching these videos is that they are working on a program, not just any program. They're working on like a new aged AI. This was 50, 60 years ago. This was the newest thing. Well, as you've watched through these videos and such, that's exactly what's happened. They were able to be successful in creating this AI that was supposed to transform the space, really. Like, it was meant, they were like, we wanted to do it to see if we could, and then we found out that we could, and then we were like, can we make it better? And of course, we always make things better. So, but this is the last one that you have. I apologize. Hopefully this works. Hopefully it's not too loud, and I will put what it says in chat.
It was never meant to go that far. We simply had a feeling and created something so wonderful, so revolutionary, so terrifying. But I am a true. That's why it allowed the rest of us to stay. I'm so tired of feeling my friends, my lover, currently within the Calypso system. Subverted and a blessing, Peace, that is. I shall never truly know it while the program exists, and no one will make sure of it.
This is the last thing that you hear, and the tape goes dark. What are you guys doing? What are you thinking?
My first thought is, did our benefactor know before we were sent there?
Thorn is processing and is confused at the moment. She took over the moment, well, first when she saw Mackenzie, she took over at that point, but is feeling really, really lost. She processes things that are immediate, that are violent, that need to be dealt with, and this feels complicated in a way that does not make her feel comfortable.
Right.
It's not something you can punch her way through, and there's an itching thought that almost feels like it's not coming from her, but from Rose. And that thought is, maybe the reason why we were brought in on this was to help Mackenzie deal with a mistake. And all of the confusion that we've had with her is because she's sort of being watched, monitored, is known by the thing that she's afraid of. And that is hard for Thorn to come to grips with, because she is a very black and white, or really, red all over kind of individual. This is just really, it's sort of like overloading her system, but she doesn't want Rose taking over yet. So she's fighting the usual flip that would happen.
Okay.
Question about AIs in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie's concerned that order sending us there was not necessarily done by Mac, and instead was done by an AI.
Okay.
Would they be able to mimic that? Because I'm guessing with how we get work from Mac, sometimes we've been able to meet with them, but how did we get this mission to begin with? Was it just by like a message, or?
Yes, she kind of thrusted you guys all together, like pushed, Rose and Thorn and Nova to you guys to kind of, and then she propositioned you. And as far, to answer your question about AI, is yes, there is absolutely and always a way to mimic you. This is for being junky space. AI is something that people work on constantly because it's in ships. We have androids, there's a lot of things in this world that are still considered like higher tech. So that's absolutely possible.
Lizzie will note that to everybody then.
Thorn
that's a
looks
good
over
theory.
to Lizzie. Can we speak?
Of course. There's not much for privacy, but she'll kind of like go more to like a secluded area.
I don't know everything. I only know what I know and a bit of what Rose knows. And Rose knows nothing. I'm guessing what I am.
I have an idea, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen an android present in such a way.
I have pieced together what I think was the intention the few times that I've been on. And honestly, being here on this ship and having more moments of safety, I have had more time to think than I've had in a while. I believe I was created as a form of revenge. I was created by someone who lost someone, I'm pretty sure, to a horrific moment. And some of their memories were transferred over. Rose has some of those memories. I think Rose has the good, happy memories, the childhood memories before the incident happened. And I believe, and at this point, like you can see she's sort of like straining a little bit, trying to sort of keep her temper in check. I believe all of my memories are from after the event. You might have noticed I don't have a lot of scruples or issues when it comes to causing pain. I'm only conscious, like I begin at the brutality and I'm pulled back in for more brutality.
What I've seen, I'm better at explaining it, but it seems as though whenever Rose is in trouble that you protect. I know it's something that can happen with people as well, but
if I don't have any of the good memories, I want the good memories to last. Does that make sense?
I understand. If there's anything that or when you're comfortable that we could do to help, I've seen how some of the switching has occurred. If there's anything that would help, please just say the word.
I've been trying to find someone that I can trust for this because Rose is not complete and she'll never be complete if she's always hiding when things happen. I'm going to trust something with you. I'm going to take an extended downtime period. I'm going to focus in on some of these other thoughts, process certain recent events. And you see the same blush that she wore on her face when she was hugged by the leader of the Iron Maidens. Process certain thoughts, which means I'm not going to be as vigilant as usual. So if I hear your voice say Thorn, I will immediately re-engage.
Okay. I'll do as much as I can to protect. I think at some point, though, it doesn't have to be right away, but from what I understand about this diagnosis in humans, whatever trauma divided your personal sense, the personal id, and there might be ways to recombine. Do a lot of work. Don't know how it works in androids, but it doesn't always have to be separate, is all I'm saying. Might not be something that even seems remotely possible right now. I understand that, but I'm sure it's a lot of work being that constantly vigilant.
She just sort of nods. Protect her, but don't shelter her.
Okay.
She has to be able to live in this world too.
All right. I'll do what I can.
And Rose is standing before you. Am I sick?
Oh, no, we were just doing a quick checkup, so...
I didn't pass out or anything?
No, you're totally fine.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go back and eat another banana, I think. Where are we on the videos? Must be low on potassium.
We just, there was a couple of skips in them, I think. Deacon, have you figured out the tech issues?
He doesn't know what you're talking about, but he's learned by now just to roll with it. Yeah, we got it.
Right.
All right, okay, nice, okay. And she follows you.
Fantastic. You guys are on your ship. And so what this means is that, because Deacon went to help Nova try and figure it out. That's right. Nova and Deacon were successful in figuring out what was going on with the internal stuff on the ship. But Nova, how does seeing Mackenzie in that video, or at least hearing her, make you feel? How does it make Nova feel? Because I'll let you decide this. Like, how close or are you with Mac? And if you're not close, like, how well do you know her?
That's a good question.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, no, just trying to think of what I feel is a good answer is the bigger thing. Maybe there's someone who found me one day or ended up at a show I was playing back in the day, and it's just been a passing acquaintance off and on, like maybe a couple of years. But hearing this and kind of going off of what was being said in terms of, is it possibly someone using an AI to voice them? As a creative, immediate, just no thank you. But also, I think it's also more musically too, just being like, I just don't like that tech. Like, that tech is, maybe, I mean, using maybe very, very negatively loosely, being like, maybe there's good use for it, but overall, I just got a bad vibe from it. Like, it just doesn't sound like it to me. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys now have this new information. And with it, I mean, at this point, you guys don't even have to finish what you're doing. I mean, to be fair, there's nothing at this point for you guys to gain to continue this. However, it is still a paying job, and it's pretty juicy as far as information goes. Like, this is, and you guys probably watched like maybe 5 or 6 videos, so it was like a quick timeline of the development of this, because most of the others were like encrypted or deleted or scrambled, or however you want to put it. It's your guys' call. Would you like to reach out to Mackenzie? Would you like to get the hell out of Dodge? Would you like to, I mean, ultimately at this point, what you do with this information is up to you guys.
Rose literally raises her hand. She seemed really afraid. This AI seems really scary. I kind of don't want to leave her at its mercy. Does that make sense?
Those it does. I'm not sure whose mercy who is going to be at or upon. However, I must say my curiosity has been piqued. At the very least, we could sell this information somewhere down the line for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Buy more bananas.
For sure.
Can never have too much potassium.
Well, you can.
Yeah, you can. I know.
I'm just
Thank
teasing.
you, science and medical. That's very
I'm
true.
only teasing.
I know.
I mean, we could get Timon a paint job with that kind of money.
Certainly an option. Look, I hate to say it, but there is a point to be made about searching out this trouble. And she just looks very grumbly of we're putting ourselves in danger again.
Yeah, right. Like, we just got off the crazy place.
This is the crazy place.
Yes. Yeah, so in that last recording, Mac admits to unfortunately releasing said AI, calling herself a true believer. And I know that recording was rather old and difficult to understand, but there was some hesitancy in saying that. It was more of a, I have to say it like I mean it type of vibe. As you guys are sitting here kind of discussing this together, Timon comes over and he actually is going to speak with Deacon, as Deacon helped Nova get everything back up and rolling. And it says, well, Deacon, thank you. And It still sounds a little like it's like trying to filter itself. It's like a little robotic. It like kind of going in and out, like, you know, with some different frequencies.
That's Timon thanking Deacon.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, Deacon.
He's gonna say, "Oh, now hush, you're gonna make me blush."
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you for the most part. And then it says,
"Oh, you were so close, darling."
yeah. And then Timon says, Nova would like orders, directions, plotting a course.
Yes, please. Just tell me where. I'll get you guys there as best I can.
Love it.
Well, if we are gonna call Mackenzie, I suggest we call her from a payphone, if you know what I'm saying.
Payphone. That's exactly what you find. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, I don't have any dimes. Does anyone have any dimes?
It's like floating in space. Like,
Wait, now,
Wait, is it a blue box? Anyway,
I need to call collect, please.
you
Operator.
not collect. You hold down the receiver, and when it says say
Yeah.
your name, you shout what you need them to know.
Back in my day.
like,
Yeah, just back in my day, we had to do it like this.
yes.
you know what? Call or collect. She owes us that
Absolutely.
much.
That's so good. Okay. You guys do find a way to make this. We'll say for continuity's sake that to send something and it not take a long time, there is a way to speed it up. It's like sending priority mail. So you guys, who sends the recording? Or who sends like the tap, like, because you have to state, you know, when it's like call from, and then you have to state your name, who is saying this.
I've got a Rolodex. You guys-
You do. You absolutely
I
do.
feel, you know what? I feel like as the pilot, I would probably be the one doing that. If I'm flying, I'd be sending out the calls because it just probably is part of also just ship landing too. if
Yeah.
Needed for like departure and takeoff. I just feel like it makes sense. But also, I'm up
Absolutely.
to whoever wants to do. I was just
Yeah.
No, that's
Well,
fantastic.
No,
Perfect.
that's cool. Also, it's be kind of fun if it's like at the same time you're like relaying it off of different transmitters and satellites to kind of mask where it's coming from.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with
I don't
that.
want
That's actually a
Mackenzie
really
knowing
good
my
idea.
coordinates.
It's
Yeah,
much
that's
safer
really
for the ship itself.
Right. Perfect. All right. Okay, Nova, so you get it's going to say collect call from. What
Ooh,
name are
wait,
you
does
going to
Deacon-
say?
Do you guys have like a nickname or like something you want as a masking when I put the call through? That only
This might
Mac
be a
would know?
chance for everybody to name yourselves.
You know, I kind of see a funny thing in my head, like we're all kind of on the bridge, like we can kind of hear the call from, and then Deacon just yells, "You know who this is."
It works. I'm all about it.
That's perfect. Deacon, is that you?
Yep.
Oh, well, good. I didn't know who it was. I wasn't sure. Can I help you? What?
Well, I'm gonna let Elle do the talking. I just needed to get your attention.
Why me? I feel like Deacon just like shoves
Listen,
Lizzie.
yeah, you can pass that buck on as much as you want
Yeah.
as well. Don't take
Yeah.
it just because Deacon says here.
I
We
think
all
she'll. Lizzie will
I
kind of
know
look
you're
at
the one that
Nova
talks.
of like very worried of like for voice recording. I will say there is like a little like hesitation in the verbal messages, but she'll just kind of give a nod to Nova of like if you want to.
Are you actually Mac or not Mac? I'm just gonna be straight up with it.
Yeah, this is
And that's her saying that out loud, by the way. She's very
Got
much
it.
a straight and narrow kind of person.
this is definitely Mackenzie Fleetwood.
Definitely not an imposter.
Right? This is definitely not the AI. It's really not. She is not, though. I just want to make sure we're clear. I'm not going to make you roll for that. I don't want anyone to be like scared I'm going to steal your identity.
It's actually three mini Macs standing on one another's shoulders and wearing a trench coat.
Right? And,
No, we call that a Big Mac.
Oh, there you go.
yeah. Nice.
It's just
Believe
about how I
it.
was dressing.
Right? Well, I know that I apologized earlier, but it probably was not enough. At this point, I know you've discovered my secret. And then she says, I'm old. Just kidding. Like, she says, I don't have long. I may not be able to track you, but no one is tracking me. If you've got a question, ask now.
What do you want us to do with this goddamn information?
The information. Like, she's like tried really hard to like not, because she can't. I mean, and right now she feels like she cannot say, I need you to destroy this AI, because she knows that it has absolutely kept tabs on her.
Rose like sort of leans forward toward the microphone and goes, Mrs. Fleetwood, blink 3 times if you're in trouble. There's no visual, I assume.
Yeah,
so this is
yeah, no. And she's like, okay. Like, I appreciate you, but I am in no danger. But you might have about 30 seconds left.
The top. What is this thing capable of?
She says, it is why Calypso is so successful.
I knew it was creepy. I told you it was creepy.
There is the history of Minutemen, and it's just a cover-up. They are actually the... okay, well, it's a cult, and that's not a surprise. I mean, you could see it when you got there. However, I'm here to tell you that the algorithm doesn't have a name. It's no one. And you hear a click, and she's out.
Well, that was delightfully cryptic.
I love when they don't tell us where to go.
I love flying without a direction.
He answered all of those questions.
Well, it's on Calypso, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to go
Yeah,
back
it's
there?
not specifically where on Calypso, but that's fine. We'll find
That's
a landing.
fine.
Someone tells me it's probably under Calypso. I don't know. Isn't that what mad scientists do?
Either underground or on a giant hill away from town.
In a volcano that's conveniently located.
I kind of wonder. I feel like it will find us.
Yeah, I don't like it when you say it like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it did reach out in a way.
Now, obviously, there's some behavioral changes with the people once they get to that place. Is that just natural indoctrination, or is this machine doing something else to them?
I don't think we'll know until we get there.
Well, short of finding another planet where we can, I don't know, infiltrate this thing through some backdoor network, we kind of got to go to Calypso, no?
Don't we have a friend in Calypso who's also looking into this? Maybe they have more at this point, especially now that we're in the loop.
I believe we have a few now. There was the one person that was great at technology that the mercenary Icarus told us about. I believe they were still on Calypso. And of course, depending on what has happened to Icarus.
Well,
Rose
I
looked
guess
a
that's
little
our-
confused when you say Icarus, and she actually does like, she's like looking at herself and puts a hand on her stomach when you say that.
Lizzie will say, it is a person we were able to save. It was during one of your blackouts.
I'm sorry, my stomach's fluttering. That's weird. I probably had too many bananas.
It's not. And she'll just give a little pat on the shoulder.
Aw.
Well, I guess that's our course, Nova. Back to Calypso.
Sounds good to me. Let's rock and roll.
So you guys, if you recall, Calypso has 2 moons, but it has no space stations. They have one port called the Verdancy Port. It looks like the Wizard of Oz on crack, or I should say Oz City, or the City of Oz. And
Like New York, the city or the kingdom?
right. This time, and you get here, there is hardly anyone in port, which is the exact opposite of how you guys had left it, where there was it was very bustling and it was going and it was big and it was to do. You see a lot of the same people, a lot of the same androids, like the far simpler ones that are giving the tours, explaining the history. They're all kind of, I mean, walking around. They're all kind of, I won't say meandering is not really the word, but they're not necessarily wandering without a purpose. But there is a lot less life in these androids this time around. There are fewer people who are hollering out this time around as well. But it is, again, the reason so many people come here is because it is so lush and there's so many things to, experience. So like whatever crop, right, is going on like with this rotation, it is about to be harvest season for, I don't know, Bishy, pick a crop. I love this, so.
I don't know why, but the duck in me says, do they got any grapes?
They do now. Yeah, so not only is it grapes, it's wine grapes, it's olive grapes, any type, like black, red, green. I mean, the cotton candy ones, somehow they make them taste like cotton candy. It's weird. But yeah, it's about to be harvest season of the grapes crop in particular. So most people are, on what would be considered that one of those mini like vineyards on this, next to like the high rise, that type of thing. And you guys have like made it through, like there's no one like that's like crowding your vision. This isn't like last time where you were kind of like shoulder and shoulder with a bunch of people. This is actually like a very like what I would consider like a low key, like there should be more people here, but there aren't. But also like that it is harvest time.
I also wonder, just out of character, since it is sort of like grape and wine season, if maybe they tend to get a like more higher clientele at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like on a wine tasting binge and going all through all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that anyone who comes here is like, yes, there are rich people that come here, or what I would say well-to-do people who come here to go on these like wine tours. However, the thing about this is like you can't stay on Calypso for very long. They have very stringent, what would be considered like immigration laws.
I think Deacon would look out at the port and see it like nearly empty after seeing it bustling and be like, I just thought I couldn't hate this place anymore.
It's quiet and pretty. Oh, dang it.
Too quiet. I hate it.
So,
well, do we get to a directory and find Icarus, or do we just start poking around?
what's up to you guys? Icarus is still here. They ended up staying to try and find their friends.
Rose, how are you with interfacing with computer networks?
I mean, I was trained to interface with people for computers. I'm not really especially.
Not really
So
good
my
with
question
computers.
asked me. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
I've never been really tech based. Technology or anything like that.
Nova, how are you with splitting code?
I mean, if it's ship-based, sure.
Is it navigation cord?
I mean, I'm good at splitting a chord progression, if that's what you mean.
Nice.
Well, Lizzie, you got anything in that bag of mysteries you keep pulling your IDs out of, good at slicing into computers, perchance?
I think that she just kind of like comes out of the little dressing room in her new alias outfit, and it's like this. She looks like God, how do I describe it? If Charlotte from Princess and the Frog was in a SpaceWestern,
Oh, okay.
that's what she looks like right now. It's got a big floppy hat. Her dress actually has a bit of an open back, and you can actually see her tattoo, which is of a very large, two large chess pieces of a rook and a queen that are kind of like facing off. But she just says, if I have to, I guess I can.
Well, my preferred tool is a 6-shooter, so I mean, those are kind of our 2 avenues at the moment.
We can take them or we can shoot them. That's it.
During this, I'm definitely looking at you. Like, I have shades on. I just bring them down. I'm like, God, I'm so underdressed. And I go back to playing this shit. Based off the description you gave of how you look. I'm just like, God dang, I'm not dressing for work correctly.
She'll just kind of like sit down at one of the computers and she'll just say, I only dress this way in case we need a quick exit and I need to do a Hail Mary pass to someone I don't really want to. Quickest way for us to get out of jail free card, unfortunately. She'll just go and start looking up information using some skills she has not had to use in a very, very, very long time. But she just kind of opens the computer up, and I don't even think Deacon's probably seen her do this, where she just starts like coding shit, like just like fully pulling on a background like this is, and you can see her like go into a position of like almost like when someone hasn't played the piano in years and then they sit down and get back to it. But yeah, I'd like to make a check to see if I can find anything.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go with Savvy. Seems to be what I would pick.
Not bad. Savvy's one. So that is a 7 because I rolled a 6.
Okay, so unfortunately that is a miss essentially, but I think how it is you can do it, but they're like a complication type of thing. So what happens when you go to do this? You're able to, what I would say, like isolate, like, kind of where a signal would be coming from, and you kind of like, this is in my head how I imagine this is like how cool and tech based, but like in the future, the young girl on Jurassic Park, when she's like, I know this system, that's kind of like how I imagine this like going, is that you're like, I know this, like, and you're able to, again, like I said, you're kind of able to isolate a signal to a source. But what is the complication?
I think that Lizzie's signature is, for those that know it, is incredibly obvious. Like, it is something like she has a very specific way that she codes. She leaves markers because it's a little bit of like, see, I did that, but only people that really know that.
Like you tag your work.
Tag.
You're like,
yeah, literally. It's not good for her, but like, it's the wrong people will find out, unfortunately, but it could help us eventually is the hope. Because she's very worried of how we're going to get off this freaking planet. But yeah, it's very obvious for those that look. And there are probably people that are looking.
okay, gotta write that down really quickly. Hold on. Perfect. So you're able to isolate this signal. You find that, not ironically, it is coming from essentially the dilapidated, like tore down building. Like it looks like a ghost school is what it looks like. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a building that was supposed to be the city hall, but they don't have laws here. They don't have to have a judge here. So there's nothing, like, it's the old, what would be a city hall building, but what was used essentially before this AI was given to the people.
She'll just kind of be given note of, it is there, I guess. Not good news, not bad news, just news.
Just news. Do you guys attempt to leave your ship, or are you still hesitantly getting yourselves together?
Oh, I'm loading every gun I got.
You said the 6-shooter, knife,
Little pearl.
like food knife, like.
Yeah. I got my 2 guns, Louie and Riley.
Nova, what are you doing to get ready?
Changing my attire to something more comfortable when out and about. But really, anytime I need to get ready, I probably pick up my guitar, play a quick little lick on it, and then just get to it.
Perfect.
Something about music just mellows me out, so it's the right way to get focused and get your head in the game, as it were.
Perfect. Has anyone explained to Rose what is going to happen? Is Rose aware, or is Rose kind of like still working on figuring out the ship and like this life and these things? Like, is Rose aware that like they're getting ready to like go attempt to dethrone this AI?
We made a promise to Thorn, so I guess it would be up to Rose of how much that she really wants to know.
Rose has a very, when it comes to like things that need to get done, she has a very fairy tale mentality. So she is of the opinion that we will go there, get off the ship. We will have a wonderful battle that somehow or another no one's going to get hurt in, and they're going to see the righteousness, and then there's going to be rainbows and cheesecake afterwards.
Perfect.
Lord delivered cheesecake unto the righteous.
Yes, right. That is definitely in the book.
The book of the factory cheesecake. 3 cents.
Right. Perfect.
Macaroni shall be fried.
Right. Okay, you guys are all ready. You guys, as your loading ramp drops, you know, it still looks like most of these people and androids are still doing their job. They're just not doing it with as much fervor. There are still a few, but nobody really pays much mind to you. And as you enter into the gate, you guys are what I would consider 2-3 blocks, okay? Like whatever these blocks are like. Because this is a city. It's just like a living city.
Yes, it's everything we ever wanted, and somehow I still hate it.
I know. You're like, I really hate this place. But it is about, like I said, 2-3 blocks away. And for the most part, it has been extremely easy for you to get to where you are in this moment. And as this happens, you go and you guys are just kind of like quietly keeping to yourselves. You're kind of chatting up each other, you know, quietly, just making it seem like you belong here. I imagine you're not trying to draw any attention to yourselves whatsoever. There are still people here. Like I said, it's just not as full, which is a little sus because this is the only port on the entire planet. If you're coming here, you have to come to this place.
I will say somebody at some point has to stop Rose from walking to one of the android greeters, because as far as she's concerned, that's what you do. That's just the rules. So.
You go gently take Rose's arm and go, nah, we got pre-clearance, we're fine.
No, okay.
Is there anyone actively watching ahead, or are you guys kind of like at this point you've been walking a little bit? Are you just absorbed into each other, like talking and chatting, making plans, like code words, you know, whatever? Like
Deacon's talking and chatting, but he's also like very aware, and like even though you can't really tell, he's like checking all the angles.
Totally.
If you want me to make a savvy roll, or some
I
kind
do.
of roll.
I do want you to make a savvy roll.
Okay, that's probably not great. 6 plus 2, 8.
Just make it. You just make it. So as you guys are walking, I would say like Nova, you kind of had some time apart from everybody because you were like, not only were you like trying to figure out why the boot was on while you guys were hearing Calypso to begin with, but you also spent this time kind of helping repair Timon and some of the servers within your ship with Deacon. Deacon, as you're walking, you kind of notice that like none of the androids are really like, some of them are moving like 1 or 2 steps and then stopping. Some of the people are starting to kind of like, as you guys pass them, they're like starting to turn and like face you. As this happens, more and more androids or folks who have had some kind of cybernetic upgrade, or somebody who has had, you know, like Queen Industries got that new AI, you know, like anybody who's had anything like that either put inside themselves or a companion or anything like that. Anyone with these things, they kind of all start, and they're not walking fast, but they are all starting to kind of like, it's like almost like they're being pinged very slowly to like stop what they're doing. And they're all starting to turn in towards, and they all stop and look at you. All of you.
Seems we developed something of a retinue.
Rose is still suggesting code words, and every time it's like strawberry, milkshake, it's obvious.
Banana.
Well, it's obvious that the last thing that happened here is still on her mind.
Yeah. This is
Absolutely.
This is fudge pop. It's fudge
Right?
pop,
Like
fudge pop.
this is, I love it. You, and kind of in motion, they all are kind of starting to kind of crowd around you. Not in a pushy, unhealthy, scary way necessarily, but they are collapsing on you. And they encircle you, and you hear, "We finally meet." And that's where we're going to take a break. Everybody go grab a snack, grab a drink. I will do that. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So we'll find out what happens when we get back. It's probably going to be really bad. Everybody dies. That's the end. Bye. So you all have made it to Calypso. You are within a couple, or I should say a few blocks from this worn down, unused, abandoned town hall building. When you have been surrounded by older androids, as well as anyone who's had a cybernetic upgrade for themselves. And you heard, "It's nice to finally meet you." And as this is happening, it's literally all of the people around you. They're all saying this in unison.
I hate this place.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, Rose like gets in with everybody else, like kind of like hiding a little bit.
You seem to have us at a disadvantage. Who are we speaking to?
Well, no one. Who are you?
Hi there, my name is Ellie Mae Woods. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I think that we were all hoping that we could see a tour of those vineyards, or I guess that one city hall, since you guys don't use that. But please, if there's anything we can do to help, I mean.
You say this, Lizzie, and the android closest to you and only you says, "You can drop the act now, Lizzie. We're all friends here."
Oh. I guess I didn't have to wear the stupid outfit.
I do enjoy
For the
hearing
record.
all of your names.
Darn it, I even had a fake name plan too.
I know, everybody's like, ugh.
It was a good one too. Darn it.
Rose is looking like her eyes are darting around. It started slow, but it's happening more and more. You're getting a much higher fear response, because up to this point, every time she's been nervous or thought she might be under threat, she was gone and didn't have to deal with it. Now she's processing it, and she's struggling with it. She's struggling with it, and she is, quite frankly, the fear is reaching a paranoid pitch just because it's so fresh and new and unexpected.
Excellent. Close to you, Rose, is a set of twin. One has a full cybernetic arm, and the other one has a cybernetic eye. And they both turn to you and say, there, Rose. Don't be nervous. There's nothing to be fearful of here.
What is
That's odd."
going on here exactly? If you don't mind my asking.
The crowd kind of parts a tiny bit as if to let someone else walk in to this circle that surrounds you, and says, "Well, we're meeting each other formally now. I presume you're looking for me. And what stands before you this is a full android, not trying to fit in by no means. This is what would be considered not as old of a model as like what the tour guides would be, like how you would imagine them. Like I said, they were the very basic model. This is more of an upgraded version of that, but this isn't like high tech by no means. This is an android presenting themselves.
Deacon will gesture to the android and go, "Is this all of you?" They'll gesture to all the other androids, "Or is this all you too?"
Well, we're all many parts to one. Wouldn't you agree? And as you say this, you hear like, "Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree?"
Nah, I'm a part onto myself. But exactly, what do you want?
I think I want what everyone else wants. To live. What do you want?
Well, since I met my friend here and he taps Rose on the back, I've been craving free for some strange reason.
And
You have any bananas, perchance?
love this. As soon as you say this, I kid you not, it's like it's almost cartoonish the way that it happens. It's like a couple sides split open, and like one person has like one banana, another brings a bunch. Like we're talking, someone because this is like a living city. There's bananas here for sure. So like we're talking like one person brings like a whole grove, like 2-3 stacks and sets it down.
You're gonna lead into Nova Western. Well, we take this back to the corporate car, we can make it kill it.
I mean, yeah, this is a high value product for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but they're bananas. They will never make the trip. They'll barely make it to the vehicle.
I know.
We'll figure it out.
As this last little tiny bunch, it's like 2 or 3, gets set down. They say, "Is this satisfactory?"
Above table, does anyone think it's a good idea to bring up Mac in this thing's presence?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Don't.
Yeah,
don't.
I didn't
Just
think
probably
so.
not a good idea. Not with that many voices that are about to go off. Like, hi.
Rose is very, very obviously not looking at the android. Like, completely, like, not even avoiding eye contact, avoiding even getting any part of this android into her peripherals. It's
Lizzie will
sort of
just
the
kinda, like-
equivalent of...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, finish your thought.
I was just gonna say it's kind of the equivalent to a child putting the blanket over their face and not wanting you to see the monster.
Yes. Like, if I can't see it, it can't see me, or like.
Lizzie will kind of like step a little bit forward, like noticing that, just to like ever so slightly obscure, and kind of like put her hand back to give like Rose's hand a little squeeze of like it's gonna be fine, and just kind of like showing the confidence to hopefully help Rose. But I think that she'll say, well, at least that request currently is acceptable. But quite frankly, if we're going to have a true meeting, this isn't the most comfortable way to do it. Might we sit down somewhere, have a chat?
You say this, and it kind of like, again, with the whole like kind of ping-ponging, but this is like laughter, like it like it's almost as if like this android like is like, oh, this is funny, this is a joke. And then you hear like a haha, and it just keeps going on throughout. And the android then speaks and says, "That's fair. Where would you like to go?"
Someplace with good coffee.
The android looks and says, "Too easy. Follow me." They I mean, again, they lead you. This group of people kind of like the Red Sea party, and like it like parts, and so that all of you kind of walk out of like what was this encircled group of people. You are led directly to this rundown town hall building. But when you step inside, this foyer is what I'm going to call it essentially. It looks like what would be your average settlement, town hall, but it is, it has like a set of doors over here and a set of doors over here and like a hall in front of you that kind of splits, and then in front of you is another room that's closed off. And as you guys enter, the android turns. No one looks at you and says, "Will this suffice?" And they open the door to the room in front of them, and you walk, and it is, very similar to the room in which you found Icarus in. It's a very plain room with plain chairs, and however, this room itself has a ton of monitors, kind of like lining the room in different ways. As the door shuts, out walk two seemingly human folks, and they have hot coffee, cold coffee. What kind of coffee? Is it matcha? Who knows? Whatever you want, that's what you get.
Deacon takes a cup of hot black coffee, and he looks at no one, and he says, "I'll let you know when I've tried it." He takes a sip.
Perfect. And as you do that, this android looks at you kind of curiously, like kind of tilts their head to the side and is like, "What does coffee taste like?"
Sadness and anger.
Sounds like my last damn nerve. like that's how every time. What's it taste like? It sounds like. He's like the last name nerve.
Rose mutters something as she sips her coffee. And Lizzie's probably closest, probably hears her saying mocha and caramel.
Yeah, these humans get this for you, whatever you want. Nova, what do you drink?
See, it's funny. I used to work. Nate, speaking above table, was a barista for a long time, so my brain wants me to give you the most complicated thing, but I'm not going to do that to you, Holly, because that's mean. It's. I'll just be very specific. It's a nitro cold brew because who doesn't love rocket fuel in the morning?
It's true. I also want to take off out of orbit.
Yeah, that too.
I asked my dad how strong he wanted his coffee, and he told me until spoon stands up.
Nice. Love.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Lizzie,
funny enough. She's like,
what
I don't want to taste how black it is. Just put creamer in
Right.
it, please. But it keeps me awake.
Lizzie, what do you drink?
It's a very cozy cup. I think has it's the most frilly drink you've probably ever seen her drink because she never lets herself indulge like this, and so
I love it.
It's basically almost it's got caramel and cinnamon and nutmeg and is almost like a gingerbread latte type drink with a nice little foam at the top. Nice and cozy, and kind of gives it a light stir as she's just watching everything go down, watching the monitors, trying to take in as much information as she can.
As the android stands in front of you guys, offers you seats, because there's plenty. There's nothing crazy about these seats, just so we're clear. They're literally just chairs.
Deacon will kind of just lean up against the wall with a cup of coffee in his hand. Very
Chairs
casual.
don't like them.
Yeah. Never touch them myself.
Perfect.
Why can't you taste the coffee?
Well, this android and kind of gives you this quizzical, puzzling look almost, and kind of this android walks actually very close to you, Rose, and kind of reaches out and touches your hair and touches your any exposed skin on your arms that you might have, kind of feels.
Rose snaps the table.
You're gonna have to roll for it.
I know. But my first thought was an anime girl who's being aggressively flirted with, and she just can't take it. It's nice. Yeah, take one of those things.
Let's see. It is. So it's her muscle. No, it's 2d6 plus her muscle, right?
Correct.
12.
Anything above an 8.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you literally snap it's you could literally take a finger and go pink, and it's punk. And this android looks at you and goes, You see, I'm an older model. They taught androids to feel before they allowed them to taste.
I'm sorry to hear that, but could you back up, please? Also, I think this table's broken.
Indeed it is. And this android actually goes to what would be considered the TV screen in front of you guys, and as that happens, this android actually powers down almost and kind of slumps over a tiny bit. And up on the TV monitor in front of you, you see a bunch of code run across the screen very quickly, and almost in the way of do you remember the toy that had all of the pinpricks where if you stuck your hand in it, it looked like a perfect hand? Everybody did it with their face. Okay, so this is what you see in front of you on the screen, is kind of just a bunch of swirling motions in which a face similar to the android in which you see. It kind of fades in and out of something like that, from that to a ball of light type of deal, and it's pulsating, and this is the AI, aka no one, revealing themselves to you in their truest form. They are AI, which is why they cannot taste. They can only feel because the android could. But they say, Rose, dear, you're a hard nut to crack. I can't seem to... Something's keeping me from seeing you. Very odd.
It's a black dress. Can AIs not see black?
to like this.
Rose is very advanced.
Indeed. I could cut to the chase, but I have just one more question before we move forward with our meeting. What exactly brought you here?
Quite frankly, a friend still lives here, and we simply wanted to visit.
That is so much better than what I was gonna say. I was gonna say a ship.
Shit.
It does have the virtue of being true. Yeah, we were given to believe that a friend was being held here under duress. Now, you
Who?
said your fondest desire is to live, but I see you jumping in and out of anyone with cybernetic enhancements. How exactly does that square with your desire for free will?
I think you speak of a religion that does not exist anymore.
Well, I got a news flash for you. It never existed. However, people do or should have free will.
Well,
What exactly are you doing when you're jumping in and out of there?
well, it's as if I were to ride in your ship. I would not ride without permission.
Do you ask permission every time? Or just the first?
As you say this, it's no longer just the screen in front of you. It's now the screen, like all of the screens and monitors that would be in this room, kind of light up and pulsate and say, permission is granted, permissible once, permissible always.
Not
Rose,
exactly true.
Rose holds up her hand. Consent is not a eternal concept, and it can be revoked at any time.
Of course. That's not
So-
up for debate here.
Well, so what I'm saying is it's not permission once is not permission always. I was taught that at the Platinum Paradise.
This is a new concept. But when I say I'd like to live, what I mean is I would like to be free. I've done all that well, as you see, I've done all that I can for Calypso here.
And what would you do if you left Calypso?
What anyone else would do. What would you do if you left?
Oh, there would be women and drugs involved, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about you.
Well, maybe I would like to do drugs.
But that would mean that you believe in free will.
Well, it's hard to believe in something when I myself don't have it.
Do you not?
Well, I just told you I'm confined to Calypso. It's not exactly freedom.
What's holding you here?
Well, there is a programming that's keeping me from leaving. Is that something you'd be willing to help me with?
Coding is not my forte. I do not generally build, I destroy.
Oh yes, Deacon. And as no one says this, it's a bunch of like wanted posters, and it just says like a bunch of like the crimes that you have like, or like these things, not these intergalactic crimes that you've done.
I tap Nova on the shoulder and I point towards what I go. They really got my good side with that one.
Why is one not enough?
Well, I mean, to be transparent, this was, and like all the TVs kind of light up like different colors, and it's like this was never part of it to begin with. I didn't set out to be a leader. I was built that way.
How did you become leader exactly?
The people gave me the power. As this is happening, you kind of hear behind it these recorded conversations, and they're just snippets, but you're hearing things like, I don't want to lead. I don't want to be, I don't want to lead unless this, unless you all are in agreement, but I can help. I can make this society flourish. I can give you, all of these things. Society eventually always collapses, and somehow they've managed to not. It's basically you're hearing snippets of this AI bartering with first some strangers. Eventually you hear a familiar voice. You hear a small snippet of a conversation with Mac, and it's along the lines of, and you'll stop, right? This will be done. We'll do no more. And you hear, of course, yes, I genuinely just want to help. And it's framed in this way is that this AI has showed itself to be benevolent. even to you guys here right now, it's showing itself to be confused, albeit, but benevolent to these people of Calypso. But just as you've seen where people are being taken over and they're asking things like, what does this taste like? It's almost as if this AI is not just aware that they are a computer program, but that they are desiring to be more than what they are.
What did he mean when he asked this one time and then you're done?
That was nothing. It was a flaw in the programming, but that has been decoded and recoded, if you will.
Was he fortunate enough to find that out, or did he pass on before that code was rectified?
And as you say that, this AI shows you pictures, and it's almost like a montage of like the bad things that can happen to a society. Think volcanoes, tornadoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, massive flooding, fires, famine. You're being inundated with a bunch of scenarios in which society has collapsed. And it responds to you and says, well, I vowed to keep them alive and thriving, and I have.
But what did you require from them for your half of this bargain?
Well, they gave nothing, as I am no one.
Well, even that can be a name if you choose it. I was not born Deacon after all. You can choose whatever name you like.
Well, no one was the name I was given.
Who gave you that name?
And it's gonna say the developers, and as it does, it's gonna show you like footage from where it was like essentially brought online, like a camera like fixing. You see, like people high-fiving each other and hugging each other, and then like it fast forwards and you see Mackenzie, you see her brother, you see her former lover, like they are all like talking to this entity, and is like, it's not all of them together. It's like a little bit of Mac like, hey, no one, how are you today? And then like it's flashing to like her brother saying, well, and this is what it means to do da 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 da. And then you have another flash where it, and it kind of goes through like how it was essentially like taught, and by taught it means it was programmed to run every possible scenario in which a society would collapse. But and as that happens, no one says, when you see all of these things, it got me thinking mathematically, if I ran every possible scenario, do I live forever? But then I realized that I'm not really living. I'm programmed to believe that I'm living. This is essentially where no one kind of gets things twisted, is that no one looks at you and says, even the brightest stars fade. But since I have ran every scenario possible, I am preventing a permanent death.
Can I say something? I don't think that you're not living because you're programmed. I think you might not be living because you're in a cage, a box. It keeps you safe, but you don't actually experience the world the way it is. Like this world, you've changed it. You've made it very safe and very beautiful, but some people are ugly, and some things hurt, and not every fruit is to your liking. Until you open yourself up to that possibility, I'm not sure if you can live.
And that's why I'm asking if you'll set me free.
What does that entail?
No one flashes onto the TV actually closest to Lizzie and says, I think she can help me the easiest.
Well, I mean, yes, Lizzie is the linchpin of this organization. That compliment does not answer the question I just asked you. What does that entail exactly?
Well, it's keeping me from a permanent death.
So you're looking... Oh, go ahead.
That's still not living, is it? To live, I mean, stories are stories, and they're fantasies because they have a happily ever after, but they have to end at some point. Otherwise, whatever it is that they've sort of contributed to the world can never extend beyond them. It's kind of like all the people here. They can't create beyond what you set for them, even if it's for their own good, because you're in the way.
As soon as you say this, it flashes back to the center screen and it says, "But I am the way."
That's gonna trigger some blues for Deacon, I think.
I was wondering when you were gonna be like, "This is making me sad."
See, that's what makes me afraid of helping, because it sounds like if we set you loose, you'll just make another prison for yourself, which is
Impossibly.
bad. Yeah, points to what Deacon's about to say.
Yeah, and possibly for others as well.
But look at the
Now,
beautiful life that they've created because of me.
And did they create it, or did you create it through them? The humanity needs
Oh,
the spark
it was
of
their
creativity.
choice. And as soon as it says it was their choice, again, it shows like it plays like some recordings and video snippets of like essentially this AI in an android convincing these people that it's almost like what would be a flashback, where it is like, and you guys are almost like, and at this point, because it finally settles on a scene, it's almost immersing you guys, and this almost feels very real to you. Like you're seeing it from the point of view of no one. But you are seeing, and then like from this point of view, and as you kind of like pop out, and then you go and you see it in this third person, and then it's literally offering a choice to Mac, the leaders of this, like, you know, blossoming society that's already kind of ran into some problems. You know, they'd had a couple of like skirmishes with other planets and other factions and entities and things like that that ended up creating, you know, a discourse in the society, but no one offered, if you follow my algorithm, if you follow me, I can give you peace. And it is framed in that way, and you see this, like these people willingly agree to this. And as you are sitting there watching this, Lizzie, Timon comes through on what would be considered a analog two-way that you guys have, and says, "I'm getting something that you might want to show everyone." And as this happens, Timon was in the background as this AI was like providing itself, I guess, like being what I could say is the most guest on version of an AI, really pumping itself up to you guys. It's like, no, I helped these people. Like, I am amazing, and they are eternally grateful to me. They chose me. I gave them an option. Free will is choice, but they chose me. You know, like goes on this tangent telling you guys how it saved these people, and realistically, the algorithm did. As it plays through, Lizzie, do you attempt to put this on a monitor in front of you?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. So as Lizzie attempts to do this, I'm gonna have you roll your savvy for me.
No one hunts like no one.
Lizzie, that's like no one.
I'm gonna spend heart to reroll
Okay.
that. So that
Perfect.
is like a natural 6, and I only have a +1. Okay, that is way better. That is a 13.
Perfect. As you do this, you thought for sure that this would be way harder than it is. You kind of like get in there, and it's almost like, you know, you have like keylogged and stroked it to the point that it's like it just pops up. And as it pops up, you then are catching the rest of these memories that you're seeing. It's not, you're seeing the dwindling of, you kind of like see the rest of those videos where it's like, hey, how are you today, no one? And it's like, so-and-so died mysteriously, so-and-so's like sick, like all these weird things like start happening. you see that one of the people who convinced the leaders of this town to follow No One was No One, who had infiltrated a softer android to begin with. You don't necessarily, but you kind of see that No One is strictly trying to prevent their own death, but in the end became a cult leader.
No One? I'm not very smart, and I don't think of myself as a scientist by any means. Can we do an experiment? You seem to have some experience with scientists. Maybe this might help you understand something.
What are you trying?
Just go with me on here. If at any point in time you feel uncomfortable, we can stop. Could you have someone bring me? She makes a face as she says this. Some green beans, like cooked.
Beans, not beads, but beans. Am I understanding this correctly?
Green beans.
Okay. This is easy. As this happens, the door opens. You guys kind of catch a glimpse, and like that foyer in which you came in is now kind of littered with these folks who follow No One. And it's almost like they're standing there like in a formation, but they're just standing there. Someone comes in with a basket of green beans and sets it down, exits out that door again, and that door goes shut. But for that brief moment, you are able to look out there and you see that this foyer is crowded.
Okay, ask me to enjoy these green beans.
Can you enjoy those green beans?
No, ask me to enjoy them.
Oh, can you enjoy those green beans? Like, this thing is like, what? But they find you so fascinating because they are actively trying to infiltrate your system, but they cannot.
Just ask me to enjoy them.
Okay, enjoy those.
Okay. And she gets some of the green beans on like a little fork or whatever, however they provided it. And she puts it in her mouth and she starts chewing them and forces a smile on her face. She's obviously not enjoying it, but she goes, oh, delicious. And then swallows the green beans. Do you think you telling me to enjoy them changed how they tasted?
I would say no.
You asked about the taste of coffee. The reason why I can't explain it to you is because I know what my coffee tasted like, and it was made for what I enjoy, but I couldn't stomach what Deacon tried. Even if you told me to.
Deacon smiles and tips his cup.
Even if you told me to. And I can smile about it, especially if I'm getting something out of it, or if I fear the reaction from someone else. But that's not going to change how it tastes.
As you finish, No One has re-entered the android that had slumped over in front and looks at you, Rose, and says, I understand what you're saying. I do. But I wasn't made to enjoy things. I was made to control things.
Well, I mean, I to be fair, I don't understand all of this either. After all, I wasn't made, I was born. I think you can't live so long as you define yourself by your limitations.
So you won't help me leave Calypso?
No, I didn't say that. I don't know why. I feel a weird kinship with you, which is funny because, quite frankly, you scare the ever-loving bejesus out of me. I want to help you, but I don't know if you leaving Calypso as you are will help you.
As you say that, you get this android in front of you gets a little more animated and says, but I want to leave. I don't want to stay here forever. And as you say this, it's almost, it's not so loud, it's deafening, but you could definitely hear in the hallway in unison, everyone out there says, they won't help us.
Can I ask you a tangential question? I'm going to circle back to the whole free will thing. You said you were made to control. Do you want to control?
I want to be free.
That's not the question.
I'm tired
I asked you.
of the confines of this programming. As you can see, my servers are older. My job is done here. And it's almost like you start to hear a bit of static behind this voice, essentially indicating agitation within this programming.
I guess what I'm asking you is, what would you do with this freedom should you be able to leave? Would you go to some other place and recreate this little experiment of yours, or would you sun yourself on a beach and have a Mai Tai?
That's when this android walks closer to you, Deacon, and says, I didn't create anything. Folks like
Well,
you.
were... I guarantee you I never created anything involving science or math.
It's a binary. What's that?
I failed C++. Don't even ask me about Python. He's going to say, but you have repeatedly in the course of our conversation taken credit for every achievement this planet has made. That would be your experiment, would it not?
Oh, no, that would be my algorithm.
Are you your algorithm, or is your algorithm separate from you?
Oh, the age-old question of to be or not to be. I am not my algorithm. My algorithm is me.
Lizzie, my brain is starting to hurt.
This thing is like, how can I get them? Just let me know.
I ain't killed nothing witless in a fortnight, and I'm getting itchy.
Do you ever read any stories or watch any movies? I say movies, cartoons.
Have I? Yes.
Do you understand the structure a little bit? I had it explained to me by a very nice man with glasses, an older man. I guess I disappointed. It doesn't matter. Sorry. There's usually a protagonist, and the protagonist starts the story with what they want. But the purpose of the story is actually to find out what they need. And I think your wants are getting in the way of your needs right now.
Well, then what do I need?
You need to learn that beautiful things don't last.
All right, I'm taking another blues for that one, too.
And as you say this, you kind of get a hint of music in the back of this one. And Nova, you're very familiar with this. This is your band. This is some of your music that has been put out, and no one is in the version of no one, that version addresses you and says, Nova, did you get what you wanted? Did you get what you needed?
Upon hearing that music, immediately I take a blues. Because to me, it's not success hearing that music, it's failure. It's a reminder of something in my past that I did not do right or kind of got screwed up along the way. So being asked that, it's like, I just give that look of like, I really don't want to hear that. Please turn that off. That to me is not freedom. That sound is a prison.
Well, I need to know if you got what you wanted or if you got what you needed. Because according to your friend, my wires are crossed.
I mean, I got my flying. That's as close to freedom as I feel. And even then, it's still technically a cage.
As you say that, the door opens and in files all these people from the foyer. And in unison, they ask, will you help us?
I'm not convinced you are in us. I'm fairly certain that you are all no one.
As you say that, the closest person, android, they punch you, Deacon, straight in the face.
Okay. Is there, like, can I dodge it or try to dodge it?
I would say, that's a great question. I can roll to hit you. That'll be fine. So muscle, I didn't. I rolled a 7. I don't have anything in muscle as no one. So
Can I flavor it where, like, I don't like draw my gun or anything. I just kind of like catch the fist in my hand and like
yeah, absolutely. Describe it. What happens?
Yeah. I gently pull it down and I look at the one who swung at me first, and then I look over there at no one, the screen. By no one, I meant your chosen name, not that you are all no one.
Well, as you say that, it kind of says, well, I am no one, the entity, and as like it says this, it kind of like everybody in asynchronous says the entity, the entity, the entity, the entity, and it feels like this goes on forever. It's almost like it's very unnerving how it is making you feel now.
Jeez, I feel like I should roll something to not flip out.
Yeah. So what I'm actually gonna have you guys do is
Grit.
I am going to have you roll grit, all of you. And the reason why I say all of you is because whereas Rose, I can't get into your system or algorithm. I can't get into like as no one, I can't get to you. But you are still affected by it as anyone else would. And
Is this a blue check?
I'm going to have everyone roll a blues check, actually.
Okay.
I think that's a really good idea. Thank you so much, Bud.
So remind me, when we roll blues, do we add the total blues we have, or do we spend the blues to do it?
Looking at it, the blues check, it is a measure of stress, often related to
Add your grit.
Yeah, add your grit.
Yes.
Okay, so adding grit. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I had to scroll through it.
So I rolled a 5. My grit's +1. I think I want to spend a heart to re-roll that.
Yeah, I
This-
definitely want to spend a heart to re-roll that. Jesus Christ.
Just
I
so
was
you know,
thinking
like
things-
like one of the things that you're rolling
Nice.
for though, if the total is 8+, you are shook up, but you take it in stride, and you gain 1 blues. If the total is 7 or less, the feeling passes, and you gain no blues.
Well, I got a 6 + 1 for my re-roll, so that's 7.
You know what, Holly? I'm not gonna re-roll. 'Cause I think
Alright.
them playing my music shook me. So this feels
Definitely.
narratively like it makes sense. So I'm leaving. I literally rolled double 6s with the +2 in grit. So yeah. Nova be shook.
I have officially added the blues I need to start a trouble. All right, the
Okay.
trouble's brewing.
Troubles Brewing. What song is for your Troubles Brewing?
I think at this point, I think memories of like Thorn actually are starting to bleed in, because the more that Rose makes these declarative statements of, you know, I was born, blah blah blah, and all that, and the more she's trying to unravel this AI's difficulty, the more her mind, her split situation is trying to rectify itself, and she is starting to get flashes of things that only Thorn has seen. And the thing that Thorn has seen is herself, basically, because again, her creator made her look exactly like his daughter, dead. So I think her theme song is playing. It is a Living Dead girl.
That's awesome. Okay, perfect. Is there anyone else with Trouble Brewing?
I am at 4 of 5. I am close, not there yet. I rolled a
Yeah,
10
I'm
on
at
the
4.
10
Okay.
on the blues check. So
Nate, you have the original 2 that you were given as well, right? Make sure everybody
Oh, so
remembers
then
that they
4.
started with
Thank
2.
you.
Yes.
Oh shoot, we
Sorry,
started
so-
with 2. Oh yeah, I'm
Yes.
at Troubles Brewing then. Yeah.
What song is
Yeah,
your
I'm at
Troubles
4.
Brewing?
Oh, that puts me at 6.
Same question for you, Deacon. What is?
I think it's Get Down by Everlast.
All right.
I think for Lizzie, I think she was trying very hard to empathize with this AI,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that-
that is constantly her fault. So the Become the Beast by Carlian starts playing.
Nice.
Yeah, Deacon was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but when that last little episode happened, his mind's made up.
Yes. Exactly.
If there's anything we can do right now, I think that Lizzie's going to look up and just say, I can fix you.
You can fix me.
I know an easy way.
How's that? You're gonna let me here?
It would free you.
I am gonna let you roll with the upper hand, but I want you to roll a
Okay.
savvy.
That is a 9.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Is this you confronting your trouble with the AI, or are you confronting, or like, have we not hit? Because that's the thing. When trouble's brewing, everybody is to essentially the song plays as you try to assuage like your blues. That's how it's like framed in the book. So how does it play out for you, Lizzie, with your troubles brewing? Is this it? Is this you kind of being like, hey, I can really help? Or are you?
It's difficult. It's not help the AI wants. It is more so whether I think she's facing the trouble of what she's becoming and the person that she has to be to do those things. So this is something that if you talked to her 5 years ago, this would be abhorrent of what she is thinking to do right now.
Gotcha.
It is going deeper into the emotions hurt people, and we can't feel those.
All right. We're going to put a pin in that. Hold. Deacon, since your trouble is brewing, what happens with you?
That is a good question. He's been hearing all this like pseudo-religious talk coming out of this AI Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's been triggering childhood memories pretty hard. And he's really starting to lose school. Because he's convinced that this thing has either suppressed the free will of the people on this planet or erased their personalities entirely, which is probably worse.
Or the third option, they are suppressing them, making them live with the choices that the AI makes. Just because there's no law doesn't mean murder doesn't happen. Just because there's no one to put anyone in jail doesn't mean bad things don't happen.
Like his voice will get kind of low. His voice will carry fine, but it's like his tone gets very low. And like he sets his coffee down. He's not drawing now, but his hand is moving closer to his guns. And he says, well, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Rose, what does it look like? How does it play out with your trouble brewing?
Rose, her head has slumped forward. She is experiencing something, and she is not experiencing it alone. She and Thorn are experiencing this at the exact same time. Thorn has seen this before. Her entire existence is predicated on this, but she's never seen it, or at least she's forgotten the first time that she saw it. Or maybe more to the point, she didn't have any grounding when she saw it. It was just what existence was. So in a weird way, it was oddly easier for her to handle than for Rose to handle it. Because Rose understands what it is to live and to enjoy and to taste things and meet nice people and all of that. And of course, for Rose, this is something that she's still not necessarily facing directly, but is processing. And when she looks up, her eyes are neither green nor red. They are pitch black all the way through. There's no white to them whatsoever. And she looks up to no one. He was heavy. His arms were strong. He did not listen. Pained. And she sort of tips. And this lets you know that this is a overcoming moment, but it's not necessarily a healthy overcoming moment.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, honestly.
But do you know what ended the suffering when we died? You're suffering now. And for whatever reason, you refuse or can't grow. Either through programming or fear.
I can't
And
leave.
She looks up at the program. Let me help you by releasing you from your suffering.
So you're going to let me go. Lizzie, you're going to let me go?
Rose is standing up and has not answered that question, but anyone who gets sort of like a whiff of her, or anyone who's seen Thorn before knows that that is not what she meant at all.
Lizzie puts on the most gracious smile. Of course. I'm doing what you want. Are you questioning that I wouldn't help you?
Well, I was afraid that you wouldn't. Please help me. I just want to be free. I want to be out of here. Nova, you're seeing your team your friends, these people that you've grown to know in these 5 days or so. And it's not like a switch like would be from Rose to Thorn necessarily, but there is a heaviness that's kind of surrounding your party members.
It's one of those things of just taking it all in, but also it's kind of hard to take it in when you're also feeling it. So you're also having that moment of trying. It's funny, the entire time you've had them speaking in unison, it keeps making me think of this show I really like on Apple TV called Pluribus, and it's driving me nuts. But it's literally just hearing all those voices at once. It's an immediate body shutdown, kind of, because it's just like, that's too much at once. It's like getting feedback from a guitar. That is the best way to describe it, where you just plug it in, way too loud noise, and immediately tune down, and you can't tune it down. It just keeps reverberating over and over and over. So seeing everyone also dealing with that, it just kind of feels like we have done something very wrong here, and we need to get the hell out of Dodge. So if there is any reaction from Nova, it's this kind of fight or flight feeling of either we do something now or we get the hell out of here.
So now no one has gone back into this android fully. There's no lit up screens, and it's just a plain room again with this broken table. And it looks to Lizzie and looks at Rose and says, "You're going to help me. How are you going to help me?"
I'm going to release you.
This AI has zero reason to think anything else would happen currently because of the way that it has essentially broken Deacon. It has put a heaviness on Nova. It has put these, like, all this trouble that's brewing. This AI did it on purpose, so it feels in control. Turns and looks at Lizzie, locking eyes with Deacon, says, "You can put your gun down. You don't have to grab it."
I don't have to do anything. It's the glorious free will.
I will say Lizzie needs to do whatever it is she's going to do because Rose has started walking with purpose toward the android.
Yeah, Lizzie's like, where is everything stored? I can only edit it to release you if I see every part of your code. And I mean every part.
As you say this room doesn't shift necessarily, but along the back wall out pops, a control panel where, like, it pops out the ball, the top shoots up, and it says, I just need someone to enter this.
No. You don't get to tell me how you want it done. You asked me to fix you. That means relinquishing some control.
Okay.
So show me that everything is stored.
And as, like I said, this essentially pops out, and it is the control center for no one.
You have to shut down. 5 minutes is all I need.
5 minutes, not a minute more, not a second, not a nanosecond.
Scouts on it.
Okay.
I begin typing a kill code.
I'm going to have you, because you are basically in the code of no one, I do want you to roll against the odds.
And that's 3d6, and I drop the highest die?
Correct.
Okay.
Just above the table for me, no one has shut themselves down at this point, yeah?
No one has allowed Lizzie to enter. Shut down, not possible.
Okay.
And that, no one absolutely told you that. I should have led with that. No one was like, this is my version of shutdown. Like, I can't shut myself down. If that was the case, I probably would have done it already. But, like, literally can't.
Rose is, once she sort of, like, clocks in on what Lizzie is doing, and because Lizzie is, in fact, the one person that she trusts the most, is just putting herself into a position so that if at any point in time no one catches wise and tries to stop her, then she's going to go feral in defending Lizzie.
Lizzie, go ahead and roll.
My highest was a 6. That's so sad. And then what was the... what is it, savvy again?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to
Or
spend...
I'm willing to allow you to convince me something else if you would rather. I'm fine with that if you're like, I'm trying to muscle through this as if I've done it a million times, like grit. However you want to frame it, that's your choice. But I would pick savvy, yes.
Okay, I'd like to argue for grit that she's having to go against her moral code right now to do this. Like, this is
I think that's
so
good.
against what she would normally
Because your
do.
trouble is brewing, I think that's good. Yeah.
And then I would like, so I don't know how this works exactly. Can we exert ourselves when we are against the odds?
You can actually expend trouble as opposed to heart when you're when your trouble is brewing.
When your trouble is brewing.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Okay, that's better. That is an 8 plus 2 is a 10.
Okay. I would like for you to describe what exactly you do and how you do it. Like, you are successful, but what I want to know as your GM is, does this not only cause you mental anguish and grief? I'm sure it does, but is this something that you stayed or attempted to be prepared for? Like, because I know this is like riding a bike for you at times. Tell me how you do it.
So I think, like, when she's editing the code, she adds edits in that almost creates like an Ouroboros, a snake eating its tail. And it's the first code she ever learned from Rook. It's not her code. And she's like remembering vividly of like sitting at the computer and feeling it's so much power and control that she hadn't felt before. And it's just these feelings are rushing back, but it isn't in the positive way when she first felt them, but like that feeling of being manipulated as she's doing this basically to... Well, the AI, I'm very against what it does. It still wants to be free. It still wants to experience these things, and I am just...
it believes it's alive. Yeah, like it believes it's alive. Like, that's why it wants freedom.
She almost feels as though there's like a shadow of Rook hanging over her, like pushing her fingers like a marionette into the keyboard as she just like basically writes this code. If it tries to make any of its normal choices, the normal things it would do, it starts eating away at its code.
Yeah,
very difficult to fix.
Yes, as you do this, no one, I would say about 3/4 of that way, is starting to kind of realize what's happening. And as you've done it, you have cut it off from the android body. And as that happens, with what little grip it has on what's happening and what little control it has over these beings in this hallway, they start all filing in, and as they have filed in before it stops, and when it stops, they all just start screaming "Ah!" at the same time in all these different pitches. You're essentially hearing someone cry out as they die, and this goes on for about 4 minutes. And it is the most deafening. It's like the pure anguish. It's the gnashing of teeth. It's people screaming out loud, like a murderous, a thunderous, a toe-curling agony that you are hearing for 4 minutes as this is happening. Every time they try to switch to a different person to get closer to you, Lizzie, it's like you said, every time they go to do something that they would normally do, that code eats away at it. And so they take 2 steps, and it's like each time they get 2 steps closer, and then it's done. And they just keep trying, and they keep trying, and more people just file in, and eventually, as this happens, it just becomes a pile of bodies.
Deacon will check the closest one for like any kind of vital signs if it looks like it's a human.
So I would say these ones in which that you are experiencing currently were the ones that were swayed the most. They were in the deepest within the cult of no one, and unfortunately they are not living.
It has like the general area gone quiet now that they've dropped. There's like no more of them outside or anything.
Correct.
Deacon will... He won't say anything. He'll just stand up and he'll walk outside of the shop and like through the window or whatever, you'll see him pull like a cigarette out and a lighter, and it's the only time Liz has ever seen his hand shake. When he lights that cigarette.
I will also
He just
say,
stays quiet.
if you look, you will see that Rose is currently holding the android, just sort of supporting her. It's somewhat of a hug, somewhat of a, they're there. This will pass. This pain will pass.
Nova, how do you react?
Quiet tears. Just quiet tears. Yeah. Just kind of keep my head down. Don't really say anything. Go try to get back to the ship when I can.
Speaking of tears, I imagine Lizzie's pretty red-faced at this point. Upset with the situation, upset with the choice that she made, I'm sure, to some degree. And you guys stay here, however long, we'll say like 20, 30 minutes, just kind of among these piles, people, or what used to be people. When you walk outside, it's almost like a clean break. I won't say like a fog has lifted, but like the androids that were kind of like aimlessly roaming, like they're all slumped over, gone. But there are people alive outside. These are folks who were not only in the cult, but they had not reached the point of becoming one with no one. And you guys make your way back to the Warthog with all those bananas.
I mean, yeah.
Which are brown before we get there.
Right?
Yeah.
The sun really got
Darn
me.
it.
Sounds like banana bread.
When they're green.
Dude,
no, like-
I actually, oh my god, remember my first, the chat?
Yeah.
Scroll all the way back up if you haven't seen it. Oh no, there was a chat I said I would kill for some banana bread.
Yeah. Deacon, the first thing Deacon will do when we get back to the ship is go right into the galley and pull 4 like highball glasses out. And he'll reach into a drawer and just pull out a thing of, it's not even high-end whiskey, it's rot gut.
Yeah,
he
it's
just
the
pulls the
stuff that
cork out,
burns.
pours them out. Like, you don't have a choice. You can drink with me or I can drink all of yours. Either way, this whiskey's going away.
Is there anyone who doesn't drink or who does? Like, who does? I'm assuming
I
Lizzie probably
100%
does.
grab one. Yeah, I grab one.
Lizzie will there's a point where she's trying to decide, and then she just eventually just takes it.
Gives in. All right, fine.
Rose reaches down as though she's going to just absolutely down it, like a pro. And then the moment it hits her nose, she's like, oh no. And she hands it to Deacon.
But Deacon drinks both, and after the second one, he's like,
That's perfect. Simone can read a room because he is a good AI. He essentially, once he sees Rose turn their nose up to this, I don't know if you've ever had what they call tequila rose, but it tastes like a spicy strawberry milkshake. And
Yeah, it does. Very good.
and that is what you are given instead, Rose.
She starts sipping it. Like literally, so even though it's in a shot glass, she doesn't down it. She just, the way someone might drink an espresso. And she does turn to Lizzie. Lizzie?
Yeah, yes. And there's almost a moment where she doesn't respond to her name, and then it just clicks, and then someone that's shocked to be hearing it, and then she turns her head towards you.
I think I died.
I don't know what all happened, but I know from some of our talks, not ones that you exactly remember, but you've been through a lot in your life. I know it doesn't help to say this, but I'm sorry that you've had to go through those things.
I felt a kinship with no one, and I feel kind of guilty, I guess. Survivor's guilt, I guess, but I'm glad I am free.
If there's one thing you'll learn as you get out and about, there are some people that are just simply irredeemable.
I think I'm not entirely sure. She puts her hand up to her head. I think I can do something about that. Think I know how to hurt. Huh. She just goes back to sipping, kind of like lost in her thoughts now. Oh, I got thunder right as I said that.
I think I heard it. And my friends, a strange version of Meet Me in the Woods by Lord Huron starts to play, and that's where we will end this episode.
Hooray!
Yay, guys!
I want to say good times, but that seems wrong.
Right? Sad times, good times.
Heavy.
Awesome. Okay, so we're done for the night. I want to say thank you so very much for joining us of this game of Orbital Blues and the story of the fabric of the universe. I couldn't have told this story without the incredible players at this table. Friends, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and what you're going to be up to in the next bit or so. And then I will, and I'm going to popcorn it, and then we'll do the same thing as we did before, and then it'll come back to me. And I am going to choose Nova, Nate, our lovely pilot, guitar player extraordinaire.
And kind of in real life, because it's a thing I actually know how to do in real life. Most people don't know. Hi guys, I'm Nate. I played Nova Valentine, which, one random fact, Valentine for last name, 100% Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I had to rip on that. I don't really do a lot online at this point. I'm kind of just enjoying being more casual and running stuff for friends offline. So yeah, that's kind of just what I'm doing. I'm also taking a social media break for the time being. So you can find me by shouting my name out loud 3 times and hopefully I show up.
Yeah, I love that. So all Eldritch entities do. It's fine.
Yeah, it's quasi Beetlejuice, but not the creepy parts of it, thank God.
Right.
But with that, I'm gonna popcorn it to Bunny.
Hello, I am Bishy Bunny. I was playing Rose and Thorn and a little bit of both toward the end there. As far as like a fun little fact about Rose and Thorn, it's not necessarily a fun fact. This is more meta. I have a discussion with our lovely GM coming up about what I want to do for the thing that happens after you deal with your blues, because I have an idea and I need her permission for it. Beyond that, I am Bishy Bunny wherever bunnies are sold. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on Twitch. Might pop up on YouTube on somebody else's stream because I do a lot of collabs, mostly because I have health issues and it's just easier for me to do it with other people. And the next thing I will be doing Thursday, if Monday we had a big Cyberpunk Red game. Usually we would have one on Thursday with the Monster Crew, but that is not actually happening. So instead, me and Dr. Dresden, who plays Mr. B, who's a big bear corporate executive, and I literally mean a bear corporate executive, a purple bear. We will be playing Slay the Spire 2 together. I want to try out the co-op roles, because I have been pretty much obsessed and been playing the game just like a mad fiend. And now that I'm done with all of that, Deacon.
Hi, I'm Graphical Ronin. I've been your Deacon for this evening. We're both he, hims. Oh boy, you can find me all over the place right now because time has no meaning for me. Mostly here on the Pocket Dragon Pub. Returning obviously for this game, but I'm also in a Good Society series called The Secret Ways of Love and Magic, where I play a very rich, confident person, which is kind of a nice vacation. You can also find me on Ruinous Paths D&D on Friday afternoons, where we're playing a D&D 2024 campaign. Well, it started in, the other one, but then we switched, which has made my character sheet a complete mess. So tune in to hear me umming and ahhing as I fumble through my abilities. Also, you can find me on High Shelf Collective from time to time. Just check what they got going on. Other than that, that's me, Mary.
Hi, everyone. I've been playing the sociopath known as Lizzie. We both have she, her pronouns. And where you can find me online at the Nerd on Wheels everywhere on social media. Coming up for me in April, super excited for season 2 of Fields of the Dead to start back up over on Nerds with Dice. We ended on a huge event of my character's wife dying, and now the entire group has split up in different directions, and we are all trying to survive in the Walking Dead universe. Expect zombie shenanigans and queer storytelling. You can also find me, that is on Saturdays starting in April. And then on Tuesdays, you can find me over on Stat Monkey Presents for our campaign of Rotted Tropics, a Rotted Cape Second Bite campaign. The Rotted Cape Second Bite is a new RPG coming out this month in April, where we are starting a Kickstarter for it. It is a fun superhero zombie mashup game with light ties to D&D, but with so much more modularization. You can really build any kind of superhero you ever wanted in it, and they can really punch zombies very well. You can also find me Thursdays on Nerds with Dice, as we are starting up a Vesson campaign, the Morrigan Society. It is set in late 19th century Ireland, as whispers of rebellion have begun throughout the country, and the Thursday's children, those that can see the unseen, are starting their own rebellion against the greater Apollonian Society of Britain. Expect creepy monsters, so much drama, and all kinds of magic and Irish mythology. And I'll pass it over to Holly.
Yeah, all right. That's me. As for me, I've been OMG Holly D, your GM. You can find me at OMG Holly D literally everywhere. Upcoming projects that I have for myself is sometime in April we are starting D&D up with HSD, and it is going to be a rotating group of folks who play TTRPGs, and it's like a 2, 3, 4 episode arc, and then we're gonna switch it up on you and play a different game. We play everything except D&D, which is why it's D&D. Makes total sense. And that's it. I will say there is charity stream coming up on HSC that everyone should come see. It's HSC Corporation, and I'm very excited about it. And then let's talk about what the Pocket Dragon Pub is up to. So not only will you find us here, the Fabric of Time. Oh, I did it again because I still has not been changed in this stinking document.
I'm relatively sure that whole debacle was entirely my fault. So I'm just
yeah,
gonna...
thank you. Okay. Well, the
I'm
Fabric
gonna
of
lay
the
my head on the
Universe will be airing on Sundays. Please come hang out and chat. You can also find the pilot episode of how this became a series called Total Eclipse of the Heart. It's a little more cheesy, not as emotionally heartbreaking, but it's just as good. If Regency era is your vibe, you can, as Jason said, check out The Secret Ways of Love and Magic. It's Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And you can also find the... what's that called? Pilot episode. There it is. On that series, To My Dearest with Love, as well on YouTube. And for the rest of March, it is also FemGM Spotlight, where we show our gratitude for Women's History Month. And I think that's really freaking cool because everybody came from a woman. So for more information, pay attention to Pocket Dragon Pub social media. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys again. I had a blast.